They told you to wait, to be patient, to earn your place, your power, your dream. But here's a secret most never dare speak aloud. The world doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you demand from the inside out. Not with arrogance, not with entitlement, but with the quiet conviction of someone who already knows who they are and who walks like it, talks like it, lives like it. Because long before success arrives, it watches you, it tests you, it waits for you to act first, like it's already yours. The truth is, reality bends to the will of those bold enough to live as if the outcome is inevitable. It's not about delusion, it's about decision. A decision that says, I will not wait to become, I will become now. Edison didn't wait to be called a genius before lighting the world. He acted like it, through 10,000 failures. Lincoln didn't wait for applause to stand unshaken through civil war. He acted like it. With a nation on the edge of collapse, Oprah, Musk, Disney, Jobs, all of them. They became the title before the world ever wrote it on their tombstone. Because life isn't a waiting room. It's a battlefield of belief. So here's the first law you must etch into your soul. You do not manifest by hoping. You manifest by embodying. Not next year. Not when you feel ready. Now, when you walk into a room, the room listens not because you're loud, but because your energy speaks before you do. It says, this is someone who already owns what others are still chasing. And the world, for all its chaos, bends subtly to that frequency. But let me be clear, this isn't about pretending. This is about becoming. It's not about faking it. It's about faithing it. Because faith is not passive. Faith is movement. Faith is making the call, shaking hands with doubt, and stepping forward anyway. Faith is showing up to the vision as if the finish line was behind you. And that requires mindset. The battlefield begins and ends in the mind. Every empire ever built, real or imagined, was first constructed in thought. Thought is the architect. Belief is the foundation. Action is the brick. And persistence, that's the mortar. You want the world to treat you like a leader? Then stop waiting for permission. Lead yourself. Command your day like it already belongs to a titan. Command your energy like you're already influencing nations. Because when the mind believes, the body aligns. And the universe, it obeys. That's not magic. That's psychology, physics, and ancient truth all speaking the same language. What you hold as true internally becomes law externally. But belief is a muscle. It doesn't grow through comfort. It grows through resistance. Through the no's, the rejections, the lonely nights when you question it all. That's where belief is either broken or built. And most people, they fold. They let the outer world dictate the inner world. But you're different. You decide first and let the world catch up. Clarity comes next. Without clarity, power bleeds. It leaks into distractions, into opinions, into everything that is not your calling. You have to be a sniper, not a shotgun. Laser in on what you want, who you are, why you're here. Not in vague affirmations, but in visceral, detailed certainty. See it so clearly that it hurts not to have it in front of you. See it so clearly that your body aches to become it. Because the clearer your vision, the stronger your pull. And vision is magnetic. It draws the people, the moments, the miracles that match its frequency. Walt Disney stood on a dirt lot and saw castles. People saw weeds. He saw wonder. And then he built it. Because he acted like it was already his. That's what vision does. It gives you eyes that see beyond the veil of now. It makes you immune to mockery. Because you're not here for approval. You're here for destiny. Purpose is the fuel. Without it, you burn out. With it, you burn through anything. Your purpose isn't always loud, it's not always clear. but it's always felt, like a compass in your gut whispering, this way. And when you follow it, you become dangerous. Because now you're no longer chasing applause. You're chasing impact, legacy, meaning. That kind of fire doesn't die when you're tired. It roars louder, and people around you feel it. They may not understand it, but they respect it. Because purpose is magnetic. It silences the need to prove. It makes your steps deliberate. And every time you act from that purpose, even when no one sees it, you send a message to the universe. I'm ready, watch me. Discipline is the bridge. The daily, often thankless repetition of your future self. Anyone can dream, but only the discipline to become. Discipline is what gets you up when comfort says sleep. It's what moves your feet when fear says freeze. It's what writes the book, makes the call, hits the gym, says no to shortcuts. Because you understand. The life you want doesn't arrive by inspiration. It arrives by dedication. And that's where most fall. Because the world is obsessed with speed. But destiny, it rewards consistency. Be the one who shows up when no one else does. Be the one who trains in silence so you can conquer in volume. Act like the throne already bears your name. And your actions will carve the path to sit on it. The road is long. It's steep. It's full of mirrors that will force you to look yourself in the eye. And every excuse, every distraction, every soft whisper that says, not today, that's the enemy. But when you act like it's already yours, excuses sound like betrayal. Distraction feels like poison. And delay? Delay becomes unacceptable because you already know how it ends. The script is written. You're just catching up to it. And that's why action is the sacred ritual of belief. Not random motion. Not busy work. Aligned, intentional, relentless action. You see, the dream doesn't respond to words. It responds to movement. The world may ignore your voice, but it cannot ignore your momentum. When Ford envisioned a future where every family owned a car, people laughed. But he didn't try to convince them. He built the damn car. Piece by piece, hour by hour. Until the vision was no longer a fantasy. It was a factory. And that's your call. To build your dream into such reality that the world can no longer deny it. But hear this well. There will be days when you act with fire, and the world responds with ice. There will be days you give everything, and it feels like nothing gives back. These are not signs to stop. These are the thresholds. The gates to greatness that only open for those who keep going. Not just when it's easy. Especially when it's not. Gratitude is the flame that keeps your heart warm in the cold. When the dream feels far, when the path feels cruel, gratitude reminds you that you're already rich. Rich in awareness. Rich in the lessons. Rich in the chance to even try. Be grateful not just for what is, but for what's coming. Gratitude is a frequency. And when you thank the future before it arrives, you collapse the distance between you and it. Walk like it's done. Breathe like it's coming. Smile like you've already shaken hands with the miracle. That's not delusion. That's co-creation. The most powerful people you admire, they didn't wait for results to feel grateful. They felt grateful, and then results followed. Adaptability is your edge. The world is shifting, fast and unforgiving. Those who cling to rigidity will snap, but those who bend like water, like wind, like fire, will shape the world around them. You don't need perfect conditions. You need powerful adaptability. If Edison had demanded ideal lab conditions, you'd still be lighting candles. If Mandela had waited for a free country to find his voice, he'd have died silent. The world won't slow down. But you can level up. You can evolve. You can let every setback become a setup. Every twist become a teacher. Every loss become leverage. Resilience is forged in that fire. Not in theory in battle. Not in books and bruises. You become resilient, not by talking about toughness, but by standing tall when life throws its worst, by wiping tears and still showing up, by losing faith and still acting like it's already yours. The game isn't fair. So what? You're not playing for fairness. You're playing for greatness. And greatness never grows in comfort. It grows in the dirt, in the storms, in the hours when no one claps and you rise anyway. So when the world forgets you, remember yourself. When the world doubts you, believe louder. When the world blocks you, climb higher. Because the crown doesn't come to the loudest voice. It comes to the strongest spirit. And that spirit, it's inside you. Right now. Not one day. Now. Learning is your sword. Not passive absorption, but active, hungry, obsessive learning. Study the patterns. Read the minds of giants. Understand the game so well you can bend the rules without breaking them. Every hour you spend learning. That's time you're buying from the future. That's fuel for clarity. That's armor for adversity. And don't just learn from books. Learn from pain. Learn from betrayal. Learn from every room that made you feel invisible. And never become the kind of person who makes others feel the same. Humility doesn't mean shrinking. It means knowing you can grow from anything, from anyone. And when you combine that humility with hunger, you become unstoppable. So now, let me speak to the part of you that knows you weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to beg. You weren't born to just exist, pay bills, and die polite. You were born to leave a crater in this world, a mark, a ripple, a legacy. And that legacy begins the moment you stop waiting and start acting like it's already yours. Walk into that job interview not like you want it, but like you already bring more value than they've seen in years. Pitch your idea not like you hope they buy in, but like the world needs what you carry. Show up to that gym, that keyboard, that stage, like it's your birthright to transform. Because it is. Not because you're lucky, but because you've decided. You've declared. You've already claimed it. And now it's just a matter of time. Because the world can't resist a soul who already walks in the vibration of victory. So keep going. Keep rising. Keep embodying. And watch. Watch the world conform. Because it always does. It conforms not to your wishes, not to your whining, but to your willingness. The willingness to be the thing before it shows up. The willingness to speak with power even when your voice trembles. The willingness to move through life with the certainty of a king, even when all you own is a tattered dream and a spine of steel. The world doesn't need more spectators. It needs claimers. People who plant their flag before there's a mountaintop. People who walk the barren field and see harvest. Who look at the ruins and see kingdoms. Do you know what it takes to build that kind of fire? It's not genetics. It's not privilege. It's decision. A decision made again, and again, and again. Every morning you wake up, you choose, will I move like the future is mine? Or will I shrink because I don't yet see it? The truth is, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and rehearsal. If you rehearse defeat, your life will follow. If you rehearse belief, if you flood your system with action, language, and thoughts aligned with destiny, then destiny will knock. Because nothing in the universe resists alignment. Even chaos respects order. And you're the architect of that order. You're the one who decides what today means. You're the one who gives your sweat value. You're the one who attaches identity to every act of discipline. So make it count. Move like a warrior. Think like a king. Breathe like a prophet. Serve like a saint. Not because you're pretending, but because every single great one before you started exactly where you are. Uncertain. Alone. Overwhelmed. But moving anyway. They didn't wait for motivation. They became it. They didn't wait for the right people. They attracted them by becoming the version of themselves that magnetized greatness. They didn't ask, "What if it doesn't work?" They whispered, "Watch me make it work." And then they did. So ask yourself this, and answer with your actions, not your mouth. Are you living as the person who already owns the outcome? Or are you bargaining with mediocrity, hoping it'll let you win just this once? Because mediocrity never makes deals. It only collects souls too scared to leap. But you're here because something in you is done with settling. Something in you is done with waiting for the green light. You are the green light. You are the damn signal. You say go and you go. No more checking if the crowd approves. No more seeking applause before you move. Because you don't need a cheerleader. You need conviction. And once you walk in that, the crowd comes anyway. The applause comes anyway. But you won't even need it because you've already arrived. That's the paradox of power. When you stop needing it, it begins to chase you. So flip the script. From chasing to creating. From hoping to embodying. From waiting to walking, like the thing is already real. Imagine waking up every day and aligning your breath, your words, your posture, your habits, not with the past, but with the identity of who you're becoming. Imagine how fast the world would bend. You want financial freedom? Then speak, think, and spend like someone who respects money, attracts money, multiplies money. You want love? Then love yourself with the kind of wholeness that makes others want to rise to meet your energy. You want peace? Then stop feeding wars in your mind and move like someone who protects their inner temple at all costs. Whatever it is, act like it's already yours, and the world will adjust its orbit. Because when the internal becomes immovable, the external becomes inevitable. You think the Wright brothers waited for public support before lifting off. Number. They acted like flight belonged to them, and the sky agreed. You think Muhammad Ali waited to be crowned the greatest before saying it out loud? Number. He became it in belief first, and the world followed suit. So, stop holding your future hostage to proof. Be the proof. Be the evidence. Be the living, breathing, undeniable testimony. That belief aligned with action transforms fate. And then? Then comes the final test. Can you hold the energy without the evidence? Can you live like it's already yours? Even when the bank account says otherwise? Even when no one's watching? Even when the mirror reflects exhaustion, not excellence? Because that's when the gods take notice. That's when the universe leans in and says, they're ready. Give it to them. So go. Live like it's already yours. Speak like it. Move like it. Breathe like it. And most of all, never apologize for acting like it. Because while others are rehearsing doubt, you'll be living destiny. And the world? It'll do what it always does for those who dare first. It will conform.